you so much. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of DAM Capital Advisors, I welcome you all to the press meet of ESDS Software Solutions IPO. We at DAM Capital feel extremely privileged and honored to be associated with ESDS Software Solutions Limited. Before we start, I would like to introduce the team that we have here today. Mr. Piyush Somani is the Managing Director and Chairman of the company. Mr. Ram, the CFO. Mr. Prasad, Company Secretary and Compliance Officer. Mr. Samir, Additional Director and CEO. Mr. Sanjeev Nair, who is the CTO and CIO of the company. I also have my fellow banker from Systematics as well. ESDS is an end-to-end AI-enabled cloud-managed services, data center infrastructure, and software solutions provider in India. We are one of the top 2 players in India providing the entire spectrum of cloud, managed services, data center infrastructure, and software solutions in India. They offer a comprehensive platform of cloud infrastructure and software solutions consisting of SAP IaaS, infrastructure as a service, managed services, and software as a service, which enables them to provide a well-architected cloud adoption solution. A quick snapshot of the IPO. The total issue size is 720 crores. It's a full-fresh issue. The price band that has been set is 408 to 429 rupees at the top. Issue opens to public on Friday 28 August and closes on Tuesday 1st September. Anchor will be on Thursday of this week. I would now like to hand over to Mr. Piyush and Sanjeev to take us through their journey and an understanding of the company.
Thank you, Vishal. So, yes, thanks for this opportunity. On 18th August this year, the company turned 21, and so we decided to get married to the markets. And here we are for this opportunity to get listed in India. And the first question which would come from most of the people is what ESDS is and what do we provide to customers. So every company that starts growing, be it an enterprise or a bank which needs to deploy core banking systems or modern security solutions, or wants to grow its channels, integrate different payment services. So any kind of business model today requires digital services, and ESDS is there with a complete bouquet of solutions and services to solve their business problem. So obviously the base is infrastructure as a service. So be it data center services or cloud infrastructure as a services, we offer both to our customers. Then we complement that with managed services. So we manage the entire data center infrastructure as a service for our customers, and we manage the entire cloud infrastructure as a service also. So data center infrastructure as a service is the land, building, mechanical, electrical, plumbing infrastructure, and the entire electricity cooling that is required. That we also offer to our customer. And in cloud infrastructure as a service, we offer these servers, which include the CPUs, RAM, GPU, storage, firewalls. So all of this is covered as cloud infrastructure as a service. And in managed services, there are dozens of services. So be it database management services, operating system management, security management, storage management, network management. There are dozens of such services. And in SaaS, the third is the third complementary part of this bouquet of services is the SaaS, software as a service. So we have around 40 different software services, application performance management or autonomous scaling software, or we've got database administration tools. So we have got different software services which we offer to the customer. All of this together we give to the customer to satiate their business hunger. Like a biryani, to satiate your hunger, we don't give rice or oil or masala or vegetables. We give everything combined to satiate the business hunger of our customer. So we are an end-to-end cloud and data center service provider for our customers to solve their business problem, to help them achieve their business metrics.
With the interaction with Piyush mentioned, just to add in, so like we mentioned, we look at customers' business metrics rather than looking at what we have to offer. We look at what problem of customer we can solve for, and then we bring all our solutions together to ensure that the customer's business metrics is taken care of. So with that, we start our presentation. So with a disclaimer, obviously we already have the RHP numbers, so we can also refer back to the numbers with the RHP we'll talk about. So the idea would be to start with the flow. So this is where we would be discussing today. What do you wish to talk about the IPO?
So the issue size is of 720 crore primary fundraise. There is no OFS in this IPO, and the price band is around between 410 to 429 rupees, and minimum lot size will be 34 equity shares. The anchor book size is of 216 crore rupees. And currently the promoter and promoter group, which is myself, we hold 46% stake in the company, and public and HNI investors, they are holding 52.65% stake in the company, and shares which are held by the employees is around 1.29%. And out of the funds that we will be raising through the IPO proceeds, 576 crores will be used to buy GPUs and servers, which will have CPU and RAM in its storages, and some data center equipments, MEP equipments.
A brief on the overview of the organization. So as Piyush did mention, that we are in the business of solving customers' business problems. So we are a 20-plus-year-old organization running out of 5 data centers across the country with a total customer base of 2,500 plus. We have a revenue of 472 crores as of FY26 March, with a 94.92% revenue retention rate from existing customers, where we upsell and cross-sell as well, with an EBITDA margin of around 50%, with a PAT margin of around 25%. Right? And as Piyush mentioned, we have been asset light, and we have a good ROCE numbers of 32.78% on capital that we have deployed. With a total employee strength today of 993.
So our journey started in the year 2005, 18th August 2005 is when we got registered. Initially we were giving back office support to data centers in America, data centers in UK. Then we got opportunity to acquire some web hosting companies in America, in UK. Made mistakes there, learned from the mistakes, then made money out of the UK companies, brought that money in India, and because we saw data centers growing over there, we thought that we will also start a data center here. So in 2010, we were among the first few data center companies that started data center in India. And cloud in 2011 through the vertical auto-scaling technology. Then the struggle started to sell cloud services in India, to sell data center services in India. The first 5-6 years, we definitely had to struggle. But then we launched a data center in Mumbai also, and that helped us to start winning the enterprise customers. We went to the banking customers, sold them cloud on a paper branch model, paper user model, paper transaction model, created a banking community cloud. Then we went to the enterprises. So SAP was a new trend at that time, the ERP system, Enterprise Resource Planning System, that we brought on a community cloud model. So SAP HANA Community Cloud, hundreds of enterprises came, 170 plus banks came to us on a banking community cloud. Then we went to Government of India, gave them the concept of government community cloud, why data localization is important, why government should have control on their data, and that data should remain in India. So 100 plus government organizations also came to us. Then in 2020 we partnered with STPI, Software Technology Parks of India. So they started bringing customers to us, and with them we currently have 3 data centers in India. And then we have expanded outside of India also. In the process, in 2018, Global Environment Fund came in the company. They invested primary capital of 25 crore rupees, and 2 years back, they exited with some approximately 800 to 900 crore rupees between 2024 and 25. So post that, we've got some HNI investors in the company. Company has now started scaling outside of India also. So we are scaling internationally, seeing good opportunities, large orders in the pipeline from our international market, and looking forward to scale that. We are also having 2 data centers in the making at the moment. The Saibaba data center, which comes in the Uttar Pradesh and Delhi NCR region. So that is a 20 megawatt data center is coming up soon. And Kolkata 5 megawatts, and Bangalore in the same campus itself we are adding 5 megawatts more. Outside India, we are leasing large data centers and going to deploy GPUs in those large data centers outside India. But those GPUs and data centers both will come on a lease model from our partners.
As Piyush mentioned that not only whatever we have done has helped us scale up, but has also prepared us for what we are today and going forward. So the cloud orchestration platform, which was AI enabled, which we built back then to create a complete cloud orchestration to create our cloud, and now we have built over it and we have created a Swaraj platform, which is truly indigenous and which also brings in a lot of technology built in, which reduces our dependency on a lot of multinational or international companies as well, while also creating a sovereign platform which can be built for both for Indian customers and for customers internationally as well. So that's something. Based on that, let's move forward. Talking about typically, if we have to look at our line of business, we can divide our line of business into 3 broad categories. Though we mentioned that when we go to our customer, we look at solving the customer's business problem, we look at the solution that we can give him which addresses his business needs. But from an understanding perspective, we are broadly divided into 3 broad categories, which is infrastructure as a service, managed services, and software as a service. And as you can see, the mix of that has also been mentioned. And this is something while Piyush mentioned about the biryani, and this is exactly where we talk about the mix. We do not believe in selling only one component. We believe in selling everything as a mix, which is where the customer's business challenges can be addressed. And finally, customer sees a value from what we bring on the table. So typically, we are a comprehensive platform of cloud infrastructure and software, right? So typically, as we mentioned that, initially, as Piyush mentioned, when we started off, we had challenges that we were ahead of the market. That is where we had to re-innovate the market. So we looked at the government, we looked at BFSI, we looked at enterprise, and we built unique solutions for each of these customers. We looked at different pricing models, we looked at different approaches to them, and that is where when we talk about government here, we also tied up with STPI, which is a government body, and through which we are also able to sell to government in a better way, also reach out to marquee customers, apart from we individually also addressing the segment. Anything here, Piyush, you would want to add?
No, perfect.
So typically coming to IaaS, typically when we say IaaS, we broadly get divided into 2 parts. Something called as co-location services and something called as cloud services. So while everything comes as a part of solution, like Piyush mentioned, of course, infrastructure becomes a key element, and then you add the layers of software, you add the layers of managed services, the managed security services layer, and that's where the whole biryani gets made. So talking about IaaS, typically, broadly we are, as we mentioned, divided into cloud and co-location. We have broadly been focusing on cloud, and co-location has been a smaller part of it, while that's something which we could not ignore as well. But that's something which is a mix which we have when it comes to infrastructure as a business. Also buying some of the components which would also come from the proceeds is a part of the IaaS as well.
Yeah, so the CAGR of cloud services in India, the rate at which the cloud business is growing in India is about 30% at the moment, and the CAGR of GPU business in India is around 50%, but globally the rate at which GPU infrastructure as a service business is growing is phenomenal. It is about triple digit, and it is expected to continue like that because of the demand for artificial intelligence. And where we see an opportunity for ESDS is to scale in the both the sectors, be it regular cloud services or be it neo cloud services. We are seeing opportunity in both markets. Obviously, the bigger numbers are expected to come out of GPU as a service. And as we can see here, we have done a contract with Sharon AI, which is an Australian listed company, American listed company, and based out of Australia. That when we signed with them in the first week of April, it was the first contract that they signed. Post that, they have signed contracts of 200,000 GPUs, very large orders which Sharon has signed, and we also wish to follow a similar trajectory, the kind of growth that they have gone through. It is our aspiration to have similar growth trajectory for ourselves also here in India, and also so we are working simultaneously in India market and international market as well.
So adding to what Piyush mentioned, so typically when we talk about intelligence, artificial intelligence, and we talk about GPU as a service, so typically we also have a software layer which sits on that, which our Swaraj brings in. So not only it addresses complete end-to-end of how you orchestrate the platform internally, but also for a customer it is everything from solutioning to deployment. And that's where also when we talk about sovereignty, sovereignty does not only apply to what we do in India, but we can create sovereign platform within our data centers which are located outside as well. And that's where our platforms will play a big role in expanding us both domestically and internationally. So typically, as we said, the biryani mix has to have everything from software to the cloud, to the colocation, to the managed services, including the managed security services, because obviously when the customer is looking at a service or customer is looking at a solution, he's looking at something which is made perfectly, which is secure, because security is again a very key thing which we have built in a very big way within the organization. So when we say managed services, there are a lot of services that come into play. Everything from managing, like Piyush mentioned, his database, his network, also securing in to ensure that whatever his data is protected, and he's intimated of the risks that he has, and that has been mitigated by us. So that is also where the managed services piece comes in, which augments what we build from an infrastructure as a service piece. So as we mentioned that all three mix, infrastructure, SaaS and managed service mix, is very important for what we do, and this is where managed services also plays a very big role. And as we can see, we have been growing the managed services business compared to what we did earlier. Has been growing, and we foresee that all of these segments will go together as we keep adding more and more into our solution mix. Software as a service, like we mentioned, this includes everything that we do or have built from a software layer perspective. So when we want to orchestrate all the technology together, we need software, right? And this needs to be indigenous. This needs to be something which we can completely control for us to be truly sovereign, to be able to give customers a secure platform, to be able to give them an environment where they can rest assured that the solution is meeting their requirement, can be customized, and can also be secure as required. And this is where our SaaS platforms come in. So whatever we have built under the Swaraj portfolio, right, like Enlight is what we built, that is now moved into our Swaraj platform where we have augmented it multi-folds. This is also a part of SaaS. Apart from that, we also work, initially we used to work closely with a lot of other third party also to provide software as a service. Apart from that, we do a little bit of bespoke development as well. So software as a service piece augments our other two offerings as well in the mix of solutions that we offer. And as we mentioned, you will see the mix moving here and there, but overall as an org, we see that all the mixes working together is where the new age is going to be, both for AI and non-AI workloads.
Yeah, so we wish to open this for dialogue now, and any questions that are there from your side, we will be happy to ask